afternoon, sir. Tell me your name.
Ronald Raines.
Mr. Raines, where are we right now? Tell me what's going on. What are we doing?
We're at my ranch in Roosevelt, Texas, which is about 20 miles west of Junction, the edge of the hill country. Good place to chill out and kick back.
And what are we doing this weekend?
We-
What are we celebrating?
We have the Bobcat reunion this weekend. It's I believe next year is going to be the 50th anniversary of the survivors of the Battle of Ben Curie who we're doing this for. And how I hooked up with these guys is one of our Odessa Medal of Honor recipients, we have two, was killed in that battle. And I reached out looking for some guys that served with both of the people. Unfortunately, my Marine buddy, I was unable to contact any of his friends, but I found a lot of these guys and went to one of the reunions, and great bunch of guys, and we started making their reunions, and this is their second reunion that they're having here. It's not the full Bobcat reunion, but it's a survivor of the Ben Curie reunion right here.
Tell me a little bit about your friend Rex. I guess you guys grew up together, played a little ball.
Yeah,
right?
he was a little older than me, but he was an excellent baseball player. I was playing Pony League when he was playing high junior, and he was a catcher and was known for not being able to be stole second base on him. He had a rocket for an arm. So we'd play first, then we'd go watch him play. And I never saw anybody steal second on him. Maybe they did, but I never saw it. He gunned them down.
And tell me about his, obviously he's no longer with us, but tell us about why he was a Medal of Honor recipient. Do you know anything about that battle?
Yes, whenever I looked these guys up, had a couple of outings with them. I guess you've talked to Abe. Abe was the last guy with Rex, and I got Abe's account, and probably a little too personal to me to recount all of it, but the long and short of it is a radio operator got killed and these guys didn't get the message to get out. And one of the dust-off pilots came over and said, there's a lot more guys in here than you think you're going after. And they were trying to withdraw, but the guys in front didn't get the word to withdraw. And Rex went back up and made a couple of trips back up in there, understand, to get these guys out. And he got pretty much mortally wounded during this conflict. He was shot in the face and shot a couple more times, but he pretty much forced Abe to leave him there. He knew he could, give him enough time to at least get back to the APCs and get out. So he's Abe is my hero. I mean, that would be a heavy burden to carry.
When did you find out, when you got back from Vietnam, that Rex was gone? Did you find out in Vietnam?
It was years later. I knew he was killed, but I did not know that he had received the Medal of Honor. I found out my other friend that was killed in '69 received the Medal of Honor, and I was just walking around the cemetery one day and I noticed the other one. It was long enough ago that I didn't really think it was that big a deal. I thought, there must be a lot of Medal of Honors from the Vietnam conflict, but in reality, there's only 8 or 9 posthumous Medal of Honor recipients from the state of Texas in the Vietnam conflict. And I thought, that's pretty special. We got a fairly small town, we have 2 of them. And so we started making a push. I don't know if you met Billy Brown here yet, but we made a push to get a school named after him. Got this shirt yesterday given to me. But it's a Wilson Young Medal of Honor Middle School. Took us almost 50 years, but we got it done.
A lot of people, you're a very successful guy, and there's a lot of successful Vietnam vets, but they don't do what you do. What's in you that makes you do this, or that wants you to do this?
I don't know, it's kind of hard to say. When I first bought this place, there was a lot of Wounded Warrior groups out there, and some of them were legit, some aren't. But so I went straight to the horse. I went to the Center for the Intrepid there in San Antonio. I don't know if you ever visited there, but it's a remarkable place. And I started meeting some guys and asking what there is that we could do for them, and a lot of them would say, get me out of here on the weekend. So we bought a couple of handicapped vehicles and started bringing guys out. It just kind of mushroomed after that. Now a lot of guys have their Alive Day celebrations here. Some of them have their unit celebrations. Some of them just come out to chill out. Some come to hunt. They're all remarkable people, and it's something that it doesn't feel like it's much of a burden to do. I mean, it's really makes not only me, but a lot of the guys, if you looked around here, you see all the help I got, nobody gets paid. This is all volunteers. And when these kids come out here, these are older kids this trip, but we tell them really all you need to bring is your underwear and your toothbrush. We've got everything else. And that's what they do. They show up and have an opportunity to have a vacation and not worry about being able to pay their electric bill when they get home.
Let's talk a little bit about the movie that we're working on. We're doing a movie called The World's Most Dangerous Paper Route. It's about the amazing publication, the history, obviously, of the Stars and Stripes. What is your recollection of Stars and Stripes from your time in Vietnam?
Yeah, well, you know, that's about the only reliable, fresh news source you get, that and the AFN, you know. That was really the only two choices you had, because my parents would send me a newspaper, but it was always a month old by the time I got it, you know. I mean, you'd already heard about it somewhere else. But yeah, it's you know, I wasn't really a big reader, but that's one thing I always breezed through to kind of see what's going on.
Do you remember actually seeing troops, reading the paper? Was it
Oh, yeah.
everywhere to be found?
Yeah, you'd see a lot of them have them stuck down between their pack and their fatigue jacket, stuck down in their blouse and rubbers. You know, they'd carry them everywhere. But yeah, a lot of people carried the Stars and Stripes.
Why do you think it's important to this day to have a First Amendment? You probably know the history that the Stars and Stripes has a huge First Amendment tag to it. You know, it's a DOD paper, but command can't touch it. Why do you think it's important that the troops know, First Amendment stuff?
You know, of course, I was probably one of the least political guys you'd know when I was 19 years old when I got drafted. And I can tell you who ran a draft board. I can't tell you who the governor was or the mayor or any of those people, but I don't know. I just know that it's a source of information that you feel like maybe hasn't been touched, hadn't been filtered.
And what do you want to tell people about Granite Ranch?
Well, it's a great place. We have probably entertained over a couple of hundred amputees here. We've had guys that have burned TBI. You pretty much name it, every form of injury, and there's none of them that have ever left here that didn't feel like they were welcome back. You know, we want to make sure that they don't have some of the difficulties the Vietnam era guys had when they came home.
Did you ever think it would become what it's become?
Oh, no, if you'd have told me back 1969 or 70 that I'd have a place like this and a jet airplane, I told you you're nuts.
Where do you want this to
go? You know, I don't really. We started this with no plan, so we don't have a major objective or anything. And quite frankly, the rush is over now. You know, if you go into, it's called SAMPSI now. There's not many guys left over there. I think that probably there's only, a handful. But when we first started doing this thing, there were 300 or 400 guys there and these are primarily amputees or blown up guys or somehow severely disabled. And it's good to see that they're not coming in like that anymore. I mean, it's been a terrible war. It's kind of a war we can't get out of.
Talk about now you've got guys coming in from the Gulf War and some of these other places. So how has that emerged from this initial Vietnam?
Well, the thing that I first noticed about these guys is when they come in here, they're all, I won't say we were a little bit lower class of group of people, but they were drafting everybody. I mean, we got guys that had college education and guys that are straight out of the ghettos, fresh out of jail. There was every specter. You got somebody there. And these kids are all very well educated. They're well trained. And it's 1969. Most of these guys, when they went into combat, had 16 weeks of training. Most of that was PT. They didn't teach you how to do anything other than get in shape. The guys now, the special operation guys especially, they may have 4 years of training before they go into combat. We're already out and gone before these guys get trained. So it's just an amazing level of training these new guys have.
What about your battle experience? Tell me a little bit about your time.
Well, I was a mechanic. I was on a M88, a track recovery vehicle. So I really can't compare war stories with this bunch of guys you've been talking to. These guys went out every day and walked, and they walked into whatever trouble was out there. My job was, once they got into trouble or they had mechanical problems, was to go kind of pick it up. It was essentially an Army tank wrecker. So we'd pull our I had a relatively boring job.
So you knew you were gonna get out, or you thought you were gonna get out?
Yeah, and our crew, nobody ever got hit. You know, we got shot at a few times, but nobody, we had 4.5 inches of iron around our asses, you know, and we felt relatively safe.
Great. Okay. Thanks, Ronnie.
You bet.